Welcome back to another edition of Talk Nerdy to Me. I am your host, Troy Stegner, and I have a whole bunch of comics to go over for you for March 10th, new stuff coming out. Before we do that, though, if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe. It helps tremendously with the algorithms. The more subscribers I have, the more of these cool videos we can do, unboxings and previews and other things. And while you're at it, hit that bell icon and you'll be notified whenever we put up a new video. Alright, let's get into it. Let's start with Image first. A lot of number ones this week. It's really crazy how many number ones are coming out. I don't know if it's just because they were backed up from the pandemic or what, but they're making up ground now. Karmen, number one from Image Comics. This picture on the front, from what I gather, this is some kind of, she's an angel, a weird angel, I guess. And there's a girl in here who, there's some kind of love triangle going on, and she gets her heart broken really bad, goes to commit suicide, and that's when we see this angel. She cuts her wrist in the bathtub, and this angel shows up and kind of going to show her all the ropes of being dead, I guess. And you know, she's walking around. The woman's naked because nobody can see her. You know, she's dead. And this angel's teaching her all the different things like flying and blah, blah, blah. Basically, they spend the whole book just letting you know that, I'm guessing she's an angel. She's supposed to be an angel. But anyway, the lady's dead and all the things you can do as you're dead. And the last line they leave you with is, I guess you have a finite time between when you die and something that happens. Because she makes reference to it, you know, she doesn't realize how much the time she has left. All in all, I mean, it sets the groundwork. There wasn't a lot, I mean, the artwork is not bad. I'm hoping they didn't just show her naked as a shock value thing to try to keep you reading, but yeah, it's not bad. I don't know. I'll wait for number two. This one set the tone. Now we kind of know the world this book is living in, and hopefully they build on it from there. I'm guessing this girl who killed herself is going to be a pivotal character. Otherwise, why would they start the book with her? Karmen is the name of this character with the skeleton showing through. The girl, I believe, was Catalina. So Karmen, I'm going to give it till issue 2 before I make a firm decision. Right now, I'm kind of indifferent toward it. It's usually Image has really good story-based stuff. They're not big into superheroes, but this one, I'm going to see if it's just part of the storytelling that's going to take a while for me to warm up to it. So we'll put that one to the side. Okay, another one, we'll get rid of the indie stuff first. So we got another one from Dark Horse. If you play any video games whatsoever, you've heard of God of War, Kratos, the main character. And maybe it's just me, I don't know, let me know if you guys did this too. The whole time I was reading it in Christopher Judge's voice, who is the voice of Kratos. You also might know him as Teal'c from Stargate, with that deep gravelly voice. So yeah, I found myself reading it in that voice in my head. This is Kratos. We don't know what's going on. I mean, he's demigod. He's got some immortal blood. He can't die, I guess. He's just like on a trek to get away from something, maybe his own past. But he even mentions that, you know, he would drive a sword through his own heart if it weren't for the fact that he would come right back anyway. So yeah, I guess this one's it's setting it up. You know, basically this book is just showing you he's gone on this huge long journey to get away from his own past. I don't know if he's hallucinating because he doesn't sleep. He's saying he's trying to avoid sleep. He only eats enough to sate his appetite. But different wild animals talk to him throughout here, basically questioning why he's doing different things. But the last thing we see is Kratos finally succumbs to his exhaustion, I guess, and just passes out. And one of the animals is talking to him, tells him, "Hey, sleep well because you're going to need it." Kratos, I imagine it's going to build up to a big fight, because that's basically all Kratos does is fight. He fights supernatural, godly stuff, and this is the same thing in that vein. This was just basically his journey to get away from his own mind, I guess. But it doesn't work. He passes out toward the end. So I'm guessing in issue 2, we're going to see him confront something or someone. Don't know. No hints. But God of War, number 1. That's another one that I'm kind of indifferent about. I didn't play the video game much, but I love Christopher Judge as an actor. So we'll give this one to issue 2 to see if it shapes up. Another one I'm on the fence about, indifferent. Dark Horse, God of War, numero uno. Okay, our last one is not one of the big 2. And this one is, let me see, it's Ashcan Edition. In comics, Ashcans are typically kind of promo type things. They're not full comics. I'm not sure why they're calling this one an Ashcan, because it's a pretty finished product. I mean, it's not black and white. Most Ashcans are also in black and white to save money, of course. This one is not. I mean, it's full color. It seems like it's got the same amount of pages. They're not all story pages. Pages aren't numbered, so I can't tell you exactly how many story pages. But it's, like I said, Magic the Gathering. That's a big product. I believe Hasbro owns Magic now. They own Wizards of the Coast, which owns Magic the Gathering. So this is from Boom Studios, Magic the Gathering number 1. People just, all they know is Magic the Gathering, the card game. I guess it's a video game too. It's an online arena. But they know it mostly from the TCG, the card game. Lots and lots of strategy in that game. They're putting out new cards all the time. Sets are changing. They have different formats. Standard is all your newer cards, but they have Modern, Legacy, Commander, Tiny. There's so many different formats. The good thing is, Magic the Gathering is almost like D&D. There's a lot of backstory and lore to these characters. If you don't know Magic the Gathering, the big characters, the Planeswalkers, they call them that because they are strong in magic. I hate to keep saying magic. They are strong magic users, and they call them Planeswalkers because they can teleport or travel between all the different planes of existence. It seems like Ravnica or Dominaria, those are 2 of their favorite ones. This one starts out in Ravnica, of course. Ravnica is important because there are, I believe, 10 guilds based in Ravnica. All the guilds stand for different things, and each guild has its own guild master. They run different parts of the city, or of the plane, actually. All the way down. A lot of the big name Planeswalkers are mentioned there. You got Niv Mizzet, who is now the Guild Pact. It used to be Jace Beleren. And I've read a few of the Magic the Gathering books. They actually have novels based on these. And I believe this one's, from what I can tell, it comes on the heels of War of the Spark, because Niv Mizzet's in charge. And I believe that happened after they got rid of Nicol Bolas. Nicol Bolas is another one of the Elder Dragons who, pretty strong magic user. He almost took all of them out. I mean, he pretty near got all the magic back for himself. He was going to claim it all by taking their essence. You just have to read the books. War of the Spark, a lot of good story in it. Anyway, all your big planeswalkers are in here. Ral Zarek, the guy who electrocutes peoples, scientist. They had Jace is in here. I saw Vraska. You got no, I didn't see Liliana. Kaya, that's the one I couldn't think of. I believe she's Orzhov Guild. The Ghost Assassin. She's an interesting character. There's just so much, and it starts right off with somebody or something is attacking Ravnica. They're telling, the first few pages it introduces Ravnica and a few of the guild masters and planeswalkers, telling you about the intricate balance of the guilds in Ravnica, but then, ka-ka-ka-boom! Big old explosion! And some assassins there trying to take out some of the guild masters. So, they're gearing up to find out exactly who did this. If you know anything about magic, Jace Beleren gets in your mind. He's a mind sculptor type guy. It's almost like they set him up because the one survivor, he tries to jump in his mind and find out who sent them because the guy won't talk. And that survivor just kind of laughs at him, and you see Jace go into a catatonic state and kind of seizes up. So they did something. They took over Jace's mind. Don't know where they're going from there because that was the last page of the story. But they do have a lot of really nice artwork in here showing you. I guess these are going to be different covers for the upcoming Magic #1. So, that's another thing too. Magic the Gathering and Dungeons & Dragons both have such beautiful artwork. Look at this. You got Liliana there on my left, your right, and then Soren Markov, vampire there on the other side. Those two they're planeswalkers. Looks like you got Kaya there. And the Ghost Assassin. And then it shows a couple other covers. If you look at this one, right, chow. You got Jace down there and Vraska. They're kind of a on-again, off-again couple. Just so many good covers. So if you like magic lore story, this from Boom Studios, and Boom has just been killing it lately. They've got so many good titles out. Magic #1. The magic stories in here, the lore. I'm sure they're going to get deeper into that. It almost seems like a comic version of one of their novels, like a chapter out of one of their novels. So I can't wait for, the actual #1's coming out in April, which means we'll probably won't get #2 until May. It's a long time to wait to find out who's trying to blow up Ravnica. But I'm guessing these were maybe one per store, so since there were Ashcans. I don't know. In April, you can pick up the actual #1. There's not even a price on here anywhere. So, like I said, Ashcans weren't really meant to be sold. They always are on eBay or in stores that mark them up. So, in April, or if you get lucky, go ask your tomorrow, March 10th. It's tomorrow for you guys. It's today for you guys, tomorrow for me. Ask them about this. Maybe they'll let you, if they don't let you buy it, they'll just let you read it real quick to see if you want to carry the series. But Magic #1. Liking it a lot. All right, I don't have any DC in here right now for some reason. They're in the middle of their future state stuff. Not a lot of #1s. We're going to start with Thor and Loki Double Trouble. Double trouble. I think this one is geared toward kids. I read through it. Even the artwork is kind of, simplistic, like it's made for kids. Story, very simplistic. It starts out with Thor coming back and being braggadocious as he is. And then Loki messing with him, which Loki is wont to do. Loki tricks Thor into, and by tricking him, he basically just called him a chicken. Breaking into Odin's vault and stealing an artifact there. So he did. He stole it, gave out of there, gave it to Loki. And of course, Loki, first thing he does is blow on that horn, and it summons the Serpent of Asgard. So what do they call it? Oh, Midgard Serpent. I'm sorry, not Asgard. The Midgard Serpent. And then, of course, Loki tries to take off, and Thor makes him stay to help him face the serpent, and that's where it ends. But this, it's a cute little story so far. I'm going to say it's for young adult readers, maybe some of your first readers. No, I don't think it's anything as an adult you're really going to want to collect. But if you've got kids and you want to get them into reading, or into Marvel specifically, there you go. Thor and Loki, Double Trouble. Recommended for kids. Good one for kids. Okay, where do we want to go next? I think I want to, let's go with Children of the Atom. This one, I'm kind of confused. I haven't been keeping up to date as much as I should on X-Men. I know they're in Krakoa right now. But this is a new teenage team on the scene. They're actually kind of calling them sidekicks to the X-Men. The X-Men are still in Krakoa. These teen mutants are just doing what they want to be just like their favorite X-Men, so they're trying to stop all this bad stuff from happening. Then the X-Men show up and they're trying to get them to come to Krakoa because it's not safe for them out and with other people. Don't know. I had a hard time reading this one. This one really, I had to sit down. I had to start over on a couple pages because I just couldn't get into it for some reason. Maybe it was me. But yeah, and then it goes back and you see the X-Men you know and love. Cyclops, Wolverine, Storm, all those guys in Krakoa. It looks like Jean Grey. Talking about, hey, we need to bring those kids here, and the kids don't want to come there. They can't even find them with Cerebro. I guess they masked themselves from Cerebro somehow. But it looks like they're setting up Children of the Atom to be the next teen mutant group. In fact, I believe the solicitation even said this, the next big, they're going to take over Young Avengers type stuff. I don't know. I need to read more. I'm not sold on this one yet. But it looks like at the last page, they did walk through to Krakoa. Yeah, I don't know. Here's the one. Some of these, the best thing in them is the advertisements, because when Marvel got, was it Fox? Alien was part of that deal. So now we have Alien in the Marvel universe. I don't know if there's going to be any crossover, but Alien is getting its own comic sometime this year. Actually, it says March. So sometime this month, hopefully, we'll see Alien. So I don't know if that means, since Marvel has Alien, Disney owns Marvel, does that mean the Alien Queen is really kind of a Disney princess then? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if they use Alien crossing over into any of the other titles. All right, I got 2 left. Let's go with Non-Stop Spider-Man. Another Spider-Man title. I mean, Marvel's getting almost as bad as DC with taking their big guys and putting them in too many titles. So, like Batman with DC. I mean, Batman can't be everywhere. Non-Stop Spider-Man, #1. Actually, I enjoyed this one. It's kind of, I don't want to call it a prequel, but it's set in Peter Parker's college time, while he's in college. And there are these bad dudes. You find out who they are later, but they have, he mentions how they have some really expensive smelling cologne. They dress nice, have an expensive SUV, and they're going after some of his friends. He suspects they had something to do with one of his friends dying. Some drug, I guess it's called A+. Because then it goes into, showing you about the funeral for that kid. Peter faces off with him. These guys are pretty good. I mean, Spider-Man has to pull out a few stops to take care of them. And, it stops where he saves one of his friends. She calls him, tells him she took the drug, and he gives her an antidote, I guess, to keep her from ODing, but it kind of messes with her mind. She doesn't remember who she is. And then, to be continued. But, as you can see, they're still over half of the book right there. So it goes into a related side story, I guess, with Hydra. I don't want to spoil it just yet, so Hydra. There's Hydra headquarters in France. These guys are, suits, all big and famous. And who pops in but Baron Zemo. And if you've been watching any of the previews, I believe Baron Zemo is actually going to make an appearance in Falcon and Winter Soldier on Disney Plus. I believe that comes out this month, actually. So, Baron Zemo was never one of my favorites because he just looks so hokey, man. With a ski mask pulled down like Mushmouth from Cosby Show. Or Fat Albert. That's what it was, from Fat Albert. Oh, hey, but Fat Albert. Yeah, that's exactly what it reminds me of, man. But then, and in fact, these guys are kind of making fun of, oh, this is old Hydra. We're going to do new Hydra. And, Zemo turns his back on the main guy and is talking to the group. Dude pulls a gun on him. Zemo just kind of flips a knife at him and cuts off his trigger finger. But then he proceeds to just go through these guys like a knife through butter. It's just, it gives him a chance to show you that he is a straight up badass, and also that he's trying to clean house at Hydra. He even says, Hydra has just gotten too top heavy, and they don't even know what Hydra stands for, or what it's supposed to stand for, because he asks them and they're like, all kinds of wrong answers. So yeah, Zemo takes out the whole group of French Hydra, and he makes mention his next stop, he's going to go to New York and check out that detachment of Hydra and see if they are going to live up to Hydra's ideals. So I guess Zemo's taking charge of Hydra. That was Nonstop Spider-Man #1. Like I said, I don't want to call it a prequel, but it kind of is. It's during Peter Parker's college days, before, I shouldn't say before all his problems, when his problems were not as big as they would become. So Nonstop Spider-Man, really like it. I think it's going to be good. Bachelor, you can't go wrong. I think this is going to be one to follow, Nonstop Spider-Man #1. Maybe this will be the one to get Spider-Man back to its prominence, top of the list. Alright, save this one to last. As you can see, it's a lot thicker. This is the character everybody loves to hate. Deadpool. Deadpool's Dirty 30. Yeah, did you know Deadpool's been around that long? New Mutants 98. This one is kind of like a bunch of different short stories of Deadpool, but they all kind of coalesce into one deal. I mean, it's just all over the place. They even mentioned Deadpool's daughter in here, Ellie. And she comes and saves him in one of the stories. He got locked up in a casket and thrown into the bottom of the ocean and was there for a couple months. He can't die, so he just I would say he went crazy, but he was already crazy, so he went crazier. Yeah, they even mentioned about, the whole, would you go back in time to kill Hitler if you could? Well, Cable's going back in time to kill Deadpool to stop a bunch of bad stuff from happening. But then another version of him shows up to save Deadpool, to save the world. I mean, at one point, there's probably 30, 40 different versions of Cable there outside Wade Wilson. He wasn't Deadpool at that time. Outside Wade Wilson's house, and he's there as a child. That story was kind of weird. Then there was the one with Wolverine. Not sure what I think about that one. You got one where he just gotten his powers from. They were supposed to try and save him. That's when he got his powers, and he's all gnarly, messed up. He starts kind of hallucinating. It's very meta. Pokes fun at himself. I mean, talking about he wanted to be like Taskmaster, but more pouches and Spider-Man. It's very, very meta. He pokes fun at himself quite a bit. They even make mention in one of the stories about a plucky kid from Canada is who he wants him to be portrayed by in the movies. We got Ryan Reynolds. This one was kind of my favorite. He ends up fighting Stiltman. And I don't know, they pull off his belt or something, and you find out Stiltman goes commando. And obviously he's not very impressive because they were making fun of his little Stiltman. Typical Deadpool stuff. This is, it's just so many little short stories. If you like Deadpool, you'll like this because it's just all over the place. Here's the one with his daughter Ellie. If you didn't know, Deadpool did get married at one point to a succubus. So yeah, it was. But it didn't last long. In fact, pretty much got divorced. She's got him on a pike there. But it wasn't all bad because they did have a daughter. They even poke fun at Deadpool's origin, New Mutants 98. He's talking about how they've changed, less pouches. Now he's got that. Yeah, and originally, you see the round head, right? Don't know when that little pointy, nubby thingy came about, which artist thought that was a great idea. But he's got it now. Yeah, they show a couple different, here's where it is. They're showing the different iterations of Deadpool. Mentioned that he's been on all the teams he wanted to be on except Alpha Flight, and he doesn't like Alpha Flight, so he didn't want to be on that team. And the best one at the end, Liefeld is in there himself making the costumes. So that's your Deadpool number one. It's Deadpool's 30th. It's Dirty 30, Nerdy 30, what do you want to call it? It's another number one. It's a really thicker one. There's probably twice as many pages in this one. But a couple of good stories in there. I think this would be a good one for you to pick up. I don't think you'd be too upset at buying this one. The only thing that might upset you is the price tag, which is $5.99. Actually, that's not bad. All right, those are the big number ones for this week that I pulled out. Not anything that really caught my eye for DC. My picks, I would say Deadpool, Nonstop Spider-Man, and Magic the Gathering. Those are my three favorites right there. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that it gave you some insight into what you should pick up this week off the shelf. As always, please subscribe. It helps us tremendously with the numbers. The more people we have subscribed, the more of these videos we can do and the cooler stuff we can do. While you're there, hit the bell icon and you'll be notified whenever we put up a new video. And until next week, later, nerds.
Get nerdy with me. Tell me what game that you get on. Is it card or read? What kind of class do you play, girl? in an RPG.